Hey everyone, in this video, I want to give you guys a killer arm workout routine. If you are looking to gain size in your arms, then this video is for you because we are going to make sure that we have nothing left to give in the gym with this workout.
It's basically an 8-hour arm workout.
No, we're not doing that.
Now, I'm not reinventing the wheel here with any new or crazy exercises, but I am adding some tips and tricks to make sure that you get the most out of this workout. Let's go ahead and hop into it with our first exercise, the barbell curl. The barbell curl is the best exercise to really overload your biceps. So it's best to do it as one of your first exercises. I work out at Planet Fitness, so unfortunately the barbells only go up to 60 pounds, but we can easily make that 60 pounds a lot harder. I'm going to do 3 sets of these and I want to push my biceps to the limit. The first set, I would recommend people choose a weight that's between 10 and 12 repetitions. Since I don't have that option, I curled 60 pounds as many times as I could and I got to 16 repetitions. What, did you think I was just gonna talk the whole time? No, here's me doing the exercises. I'm not going too slow and I'm also not moving the bar like it's nothing. This is a good tempo for the first set. Just a little bit of swinging the bar, it's not terrible, but also try not to do that for your first set. If you want to do a higher rep range like I just did, you can, but I would recommend the 10 to 12 range. For this entire workout routine, we're only resting our arms for 60 seconds in between each set. That's because these muscles are smaller and they can recover a lot faster. Okay, now that the first set's done, here's where it gets interesting. If you really push yourself on the first set, then it's going to be nearly impossible to do 16 repetitions again on the second set. So here's how we fix that. After I do as many reps as I can with good form, I'm going to cheat.
You need to leave.
Yes, I said it, cheat, okay? Break your form and just focus on getting the bar up. Because the important thing now isn't going to be the contraction, it's going to be the lowering of the bar. So I'm going to hoist the bar up and slowly lower it back down until I can get to that 16 repetitions. This is my second set and so far so good, curling at a normal pace. And then you see I'm starting to fatigue. And then that is when you're going to start the cheat curl. I'm using my body to help the bar up and then I'm slowly lowering the bar back down. That'll be our second and our third set. And if you do this exercise correctly, your biceps should be worn out after the third set. Some tips I have is to make sure that you have good form on the first set. This is going to help you on your second and third set to see what repetition number you went to failure at. Another tip, but it's not necessary, is to use an easy bar curl. The easy bar is the barbell that has the curved bar in the middle. It feels a lot better on my wrist when I curl compared to the straight bar, so I like to use the easy bar curl. I tell you what guys, I like that first exercise so much that we're going to do it a second time, except with our triceps. And for the next exercise, we're going to do the tricep push down. I think it's best to switch between a bicep exercise and a tricep exercise because if you really work your biceps hard, then switching to a tricep exercise gives them a longer chance to rest. The tricep pushdown, we are doing 3 sets again, and we are aiming for that 10 to 12 repetitions. Because I did 16 repetitions on the first exercise, just to make things simple, I'm going to do 16 repetitions on the tricep pushdown. The first set of the tricep pushdown looks like this. Again, with the good tempo. A quick note is that you can see I'm not bringing my elbows up too high with the bar. I'm keeping them pretty low. That's a good thing. That's what you want to see when you're doing this exercise. After that first set, once we get to the second set, we are going to do as many repetitions as we can with good form, and then we're going to break that form and cheat a little bit. But remember, the important thing to focus on is the eccentric portion of the exercise. So in this case, when we're raising the bar up, we're going to raise the bar slowly. I jumped ahead to the part where I'm beginning to fatigue and I start to cheat on the push down. It's very subtle, and even from the camera angle, you can't tell I'm using my other muscles because I'm still standing pretty upright. The first 2 tips are the same as the barbell curl in that make sure you have good form on the first set and try to find an easy bar for the tricep pushdown. This one I have an added tip in that don't hunch over when you're doing the tricep pushdown. What you may tend to do in order to get the weight down is you may begin to hunch over, and that's not the goal. We are isolating our triceps. Also, when you hunch over, that takes a lot of range of motion out. With the barbell curl, we worked our entire bicep muscle. Now I want to focus a little bit more on each head of the bicep. When you do curls with your arm in front, you focus a little bit more on the short head compared to the long head. So for our next exercise, I'm going to do the machine preacher curl. With this exercise, I'm only doing 3 sets of 12. Nothing crazy, no outlandish maneuvers. Although when you do this exercise, focus on slowly lowering the bar compared to just bringing it all the way down. That's where a lot of the growth is going to happen. See what I'm talking about with how fast I bring the bar up, but then I slowly lower the bar back down. The machine preacher curl is a good exercise, although if your gym has an actual preacher curl setup, I would do that one instead. The machine is on a fixed path, so it can feel a little weird sometimes. So again, the tips are slowly lower the bar down, use a preacher curl setup before the machine, and try to bring your body as close as you can to the pad. Back to our triceps, we are doing the incline dumbbell tricep extension. This exercise was in my top 10 dumbbell exercises. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But I'm just going to reiterate what I was talking about in that video and say that putting the bench at a slight incline gives you more of a stretch in the tricep compared to when laying the bench flat. It's important when working out your triceps to focus on movements that are also overhead. That's because the overhead movement focuses more on the long head of the tricep compared to the other two. And just like with the preacher curl, we're only doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions and resting only 60 seconds. My tips for this exercise is to make sure that you don't put too high of an incline on the bench. There's no need. My second tip is if you feel discomfort in your elbows when doing the movement, you can move your hand to one side of the dumbbell handle instead of leaving it in the middle. And my third tip on this exercise is to make sure that when you're contracting the tricep, not to bring your shoulders up. Leaving them low helps keep a little bit more isolation on the tricep. I put this video after the tips because I'm using all of them. Notice that the incline on the bench is at about 15 degrees. My hands are closer to one side of the dumbbell and I'm keeping my arms back. I'm not bringing them up at all. If you like this video so far, go ahead and subscribe so that you keep getting more videos just like this. I'm going to open up an email list soon where people who sign up can get a couple free workout routines. And if you subscribe, you can be one of the first people to know about it. The next exercise is the Bayesian curl.
What the hell is even that?
I'm going to be honest, I don't do this exercise a lot. I prefer the incline dumbbell curl instead of the Bayesian curl, but I've already included the incline curl with a few of my other videos that you should definitely go check out. And I wanted to spice things up a little bit. I wanted to make some things a little different. But the good thing about the Bayesian curl is it has the exact same idea as the incline curl. It puts a stretch on your bicep while doing the movement. Another good thing about the Bayesian curl is that you're using it with a cable instead of a dumbbell. The cons with dumbbells is that usually the tension goes away at the top of the movement and at the bottom of the movement. With a cable, you have constant tension at the top, middle, and bottom of the movement. With this one, I'm doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. However, I'm not resting after I do each arm. I'm going to work each arm back to back with no stopping. That's because while you're working with one arm, the other arm is obviously resting. So you don't really need to rest even longer. My tips for this one is don't have the cable setting at the bottom. Align the cable a little lower than where your hand should be. Another tip is to make sure that the cable is pulling directly behind you, not from the side. That's where all the resistance is going to be. My demonstration video for you guys, notice that the cable isn't all the way at the ground, it's pulling directly behind me, and I'm getting a really good stretch on the bicep. If I were to be laying on an incline bench, it would look exactly like an incline dumbbell curl. This last exercise for the tricep is more flashy than anything else, but I actually saw it on a Jeff Nippard video, so I decided to give it a try. This is called the Katana tricep extension. First thing that I want to point out is it's not a necessity to have both cables available to be able to do an overhead tricep extension. The only reason I'm doing is because one, it's available, and second, because look how cool it is, right? Even though it looks really cool, it takes a lot of range of motion out if you go too heavy on this exercise. With this exercise, we are finishing 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions, and resting 60 seconds. If you do only have access to one cable at a time, my suggestion would be to do like we did with the previous exercise and not resting in between each tricep. Here's the setup for it. Grab both cables without any handles, and then turn around and bring it over your head. Then, just like an overhead tricep extension, flare your elbows out and bring your hands to the sky. And that's the arm workout. If you watched the video and did the routine, leave a comment below and let me know how it went for you. Thank you guys so much for watching the video.